Damien here again. Today I want to talk about concepts, particularly conceptual frameworks. Again, I work with a lot of highly intelligent intellectual people. They tend to be more in the heady space. The reason why this is important is that too often we rely on old concepts and old frameworks from our lives and practices that have been trained into us before we even knew what these concepts were. So, for example, time is just a concept, or um, there are concepts that we think about, like money. Money is just a concept. What I mean by concept is basically a framework for which your mind sees life and reality. So, if you dig deeper into the concepts you were taught and question where they came from, you can start to break it down and understand that the ideas behind them will shift into the meaning and how you manipulate them. So, for example, let's go back to the concept of time. Time is a weird, abstract concept that most of us don't really understand until you start to question what it means in regards to your experience. So, for example, you cannot point to time. You can't say, yesterday is now. You can't point to tomorrow is now. They're just memory. Your mind does not actually experience time as in a present tangible moment, but your body does. Your body can only exist in the now present moment. Your mind, however, experiences time through a series of memories and imagination. That in itself becomes abstract until you actually interact with time. And the only interaction, the tangible interaction with time, is now. Just this alone, you're probably getting stretched because you're probably saying, "What are you talking about, Damien? I can tell time all the time by looking at my watch. I can schedule time for meeting a friend or partner or being able to execute and get things done." Now, that's the practicality of time. But in reality, actual realness, time is but an illusion for the mind. Once you start breaking down this concept of time, it allows you start to understand, how do I shape my experience with time? The experience with time depends on what your body is actually experiencing, which your body can only experience time in the present moment. And so, with this, you understand time as a way of your mind stretching through the understanding of the experience from the past and the imagined future. Now, our experience from what had happened yesterday to what is going to happen tomorrow may be two totally different perspectives based upon the story or narrative or the meaning you place behind it. So, for example, two people could have experienced a moment in time. One could have seen it as an amazing, fulfilling, great experience, while another person could experience it as a tragic, horrible time. And all it had to do was based upon their meaning that they placed upon it. And the same thing goes with future tense, the things that you want and desire into the future. But it all depends on the narrative that you want to experience in the present moment. Now, again, this is probably stretching your ideas in and around time, the concept of it. But what I want you to do is start to question, what is the meaning of time as you as an individual? What does it mean to me to experience time? Not just from a memory or an imagination concept of time, but a felt experience of time. The only time you can genuinely experience is in present moment. And so that's just even the concept of time. So challenge yourself to really stretch your ideas around different concepts that you've been introduced to, and then start to apply it to other different concepts, like money. I'll go a little bit more in depth and detail about the concept of money because the more you can start to see what the understanding, underall meaning behind your relationships to these conceptual frameworks in your reality, the more you can understand, you can genuinely start to shape the construct of your overall experience of reality. This, in essence, is where advanced leaders and visionary leaders start to exist, where they start to take old concepts and reinterpret them in a way that is more meaningful and that you can shape reality in a way that is more meaningful for not only yourself, but for others. Now, if you can just do this with time, think about what you can do with money and the concept of money and how it applies to the meaning that you're applying, not only for yourself, but for others. So, in your own leadership development or in your own just life and personal development, start to question your reality. Start to question, learn concepts from birth, from others, from other people. You'll start to see it's not quite what you had been told it was. So give that a try. Just stretch yourself, test it out. You'll probably experience you might go down a rabbit hole. Hopefully, this is going to help you to further your life experience and growth. Thank you.